passport.js for implementing our security strategies. Okay? So passport.js is a Node.js library that tries to create a single API that tries to give you a high-level encapsulation and an abstraction over the various strategies that we can use to authenticate, right? To authorize folks to use our application, and they tout themselves as making it very simple to connect to any number of authenticators, right? For instance, notice that here they have all sorts of what they call strategies that allow you to connect to any number of third-party authentication providers, such as Twitter, Facebook, Google, and so on and so forth, right? And each one of these providers, right, they have their own little quirks on how they work. Yes. So what Passport tries to do is to abstract them all, so that you don't have to know how to do it specifically for any one of them. You just have to code to the Passport API, right? And then they take care of dealing with the idiosyncrasies of dealing with each one individual authenticator. Make sense? It's like what jQuery tries to do with JavaScript, right? Give you an abstraction over JavaScript so that you don't have to deal with the various versions of the browser, different versions of the vendors, right? This is what Java tries to do with the operating systems, right? It gives you a nice abstraction layer so that you code to Java, so you don't have to code to the specific to the various specific architectures, right, and operating systems that are specific have different specific quirks. Make sense? So this is what Passport allows you to do. Now these various authenticator providers, they call them strategies. Okay, there's the Google strategy and the GitHub strategy and the LinkedIn strategy, and each strategy is implemented in its own module. Okay, you install first the core Passport module, and then depending on which authenticator you want to use, you then install also that specific library for that particular authenticator. All right. So today we're going to be using the local authenticator, meaning we are going to be the providers. We are the ones who have in the database the list of users that are valid users for our system. Okay. So we are the ones who are going to go out to the database and check to see if the username and password match. And if so, we're going to tell Passport, yep, this person is good, log them in, right? Make them the currently logged in user. Okay. Next week we'll revisit this, and instead of us going to our own database, instead we're going to redirect the user to log in at Google's authentication or Facebook or whatnot. Yes. And then have Facebook or Google notify us whether indeed this person is a valid user or not. Right? And then we'll store it in our database and say, okay, this is a Google user. I don't have their password, obviously. I do have an authentication token that Google's going to give me. Right? It's also going to Google's going to give me an ID, right? So I can uniquely identify this person. And any information that I might have asked, right, as an application, I can ask for various various information that the user might want to share with me, right? Perhaps I would ask, can I have your thumbnail as a photo? Can I have your emails? Can I have maybe your contacts? And if they choose to share that with me, then that information will also be provided by Google, right, or Facebook or whatever. And whatever they choose not to share, well, we just won't get it. Okay. So first, we'll look at the local strategy.